Valerie Bertinelli, a name once synonymous with optimism and success on screen, appeared with a radiant smile shining through more than 200 episodes of the iconic sitcom One Day at a Time, winning 2 Golden Globe Awards and becoming a familiar face to millions of viewers. But behind the spotlight, Valerie's life has been a series of unforeseen tragedies and challenges. From tumultuous relationships and decades-long battles with body image pressures to deep, painful losses, her journey has been vastly different from the happiness the public once saw. You may know Valerie for her success and bright smile, but how many secrets lie behind that smile? In her lifetime alone, she has faced 3 separations, the loss of her best friend, and a long struggle with her self-image throughout more than 40 years in her career. Join us in exploring the journey of Valerie Bertinelli, a woman who has navigated countless ups and downs to find herself once again. Her story is not only one of wrestling with life's twists and turns but also a testament to extraordinary resilience and strength few could imagine. Valerie Bertinelli was born on April 23, 1960, as one of 4 children in the Bertinelli family. Born into a stable and well-off family, with her father serving as an executive at General Motors, Valerie grew up in an environment that was always shifting and challenging. Her father's successful and demanding career meant the family had to move frequently from Claymont, Delaware, to Clarkson, Michigan, then Shreveport, Louisiana, and finally Oklahoma City. For a young child, adjusting to new homes and friends was far from easy. Valerie learned to adapt, but the frequent relocations planted a quiet sense of instability and loneliness in her young heart. The first and perhaps greatest loss of Valerie's life was the death of her older brother Mark before she was born. Mark passed away at only 17 months old due to poisoning in a tragic accident. The young boy had accidentally ingested a toxic chemical from a soda bottle left at a farm. Mark's heartbreaking death cast a dark shadow over the Bertinelli family. Valerie was born only 8 months after this tragedy, at a time when her parents were still engulfed in grief. The joy of welcoming a new family member was clouded by an overwhelming sense of sorrow, regret, and irreplaceable loss. As she grew older, Valerie gradually realized that she was living in the shadow of her late brother. She sensed that her presence could never quite fill the space Mark left in her parents' hearts. Her early years were a blend of childhood joy and quiet sadness as she absorbed her parents' lingering pain. Valerie shared that her mother would often cry for Mark, and Valerie felt as though she had to be perfect to somehow compensate for that loss. Overcoming this pain was not easy. Valerie felt a constant need to please those around her and to remain strong to avoid adding to her parents' heartache. She pressured herself to be the ideal child, always striving to make her parents happy even if it meant repressing her true feelings. Mark's death and the lasting grief it brought shaped a habit within Valerie, a habit of concealing her emotions, crafting a strong exterior so that no one would see the vulnerability inside. Valerie Bertinelli stepped into the entertainment world at a young age, and even she might not have foreseen becoming one of America's most beloved faces on television. Her journey into acting began while studying at Tommy Lynn School of Artists in Los Angeles, where she developed her expressive abilities and acting skills early on. Thanks to her remarkable talent, Valerie quickly caught the attention of casting directors. In 1974, she made her debut with a role in the short-lived TV series Apple's Way. Her performance captivated audiences and caught the eye of legendary director Norman Lear, one of the most influential figures in entertainment at the time. It was Norman Lear who recognized Valerie's unique potential and invited her to play Barbara Cooper in the television series One Day at a Time in 1975. This was a golden opportunity, and Valerie won over viewers with her portrayal. She immediately drew audiences in with her youthful energy and natural acting style. The character of Barbara Cooper, a rebellious yet loving daughter, was not only a pivotal role in Valerie's career but also marked a golden era in American television. The show became a phenomenon, and Valerie quickly won the hearts of millions of viewers. Running for 9 years with over 200 episodes, One Day at a Time earned Valerie 2 Golden Globe Awards for Best Supporting Actress, a remarkable achievement for a teenage actress. Valerie was loved not only for her talent but also for becoming a symbol of youth for that generation. Her image as a vibrant, dynamic young woman with her own dreams and aspirations left a lasting impression on audiences. She became an icon of American youth, representing the relatable yet resilient young woman striving to find her place in an ever-changing world. Following her success in One Day at a Time, Valerie continued to shine with her role as Melanie Hope Moretti in the comedy series Hot in Cleveland in 2010. Alongside legends like Betty White, Wendy Malick, and Jane Leeves, Valerie once again proved her charm on the small screen. Hot in Cleveland ran for 6 seasons with 128 episodes, allowing Valerie to showcase her talent and create a fresh impact with this role. Melanie Hope Moretti, a blend of humor, charm, and sensitivity, breathed new life into Valerie's career, helping her win over a new generation of viewers. As Valerie Bertinelli captivated audiences and rose to fame as a young star, her life extended far beyond the glitz of her career. In 1980, she met legendary guitarist Eddie Van Halen at a concert on Van Halen's Invasion tour. Valerie, a beloved television actress, and Eddie, a rock star with charisma and allure, were immediately drawn to each other. Their love blossomed quickly and passionately, like a romance novel brought to life, as these two famous individuals from different worlds found a deep connection. After only 4 months of dating, Eddie proposed, and they married in 1981 when Valerie was just 20. Their union was celebrated as the perfect blend of Hollywood and rock music, with Valerie a TV icon and Eddie electrifying stages with his music. To the public, they were a power couple, a symbol of youthful love and success. But the reality was far more complicated. Valerie entered the marriage with hope, believing love could overcome any obstacle, but she quickly faced serious challenges. One of the biggest struggles in their relationship was Eddie's lifestyle, filled with parties and substance use. As a rock star, he lived in a world where alcohol and drugs were prevalent, and over time he became reliant on them. Valerie made every effort to help him overcome these issues, but the pressures of marriage and their different lifestyles took a toll on her. She often felt as if she were living two lives, the cheerful, friendly Valerie beloved as Barbara Cooper on screen, and the resilient rock star's wife off-screen. This inner conflict grew. She found it hard to fully integrate into Eddie's world yet could not bear the thought of letting go of their love. Valerie and Eddie tried to repair their relationship through therapy, facing each other's issues directly, but Eddie's habits proved hard to break. Valerie eventually realized she could not remain endlessly patient, especially when Eddie was unwilling to change for his health or their family's future. This became even more evident when Eddie was diagnosed with tongue cancer in 2000 and had part of his tongue removed to prevent the spread of the tumor. Despite the severity of his illness, Eddie continued his harmful habits like smoking and drinking. For Valerie, the inability to help Eddie see the risks of his lifestyle became a heavy emotional burden. Their relationship also faced strains due to personal conflicts and infidelity. Both Valerie and Eddie were involved in extramarital relationships, further eroding trust and creating distance between them. Despite their efforts to reconnect after welcoming their son Wolfgang in 1991, unresolved issues continued to haunt them. Valerie hoped that Wolfgang's birth might bring them closer, restoring the happiness they once shared, but the pressures of parenting combined with lingering tensions only added strain to their relationship. After more than 20 years of struggling to save their marriage, Valerie and Eddie separated in 2001 and finalized their divorce in 2007. However, their parting did not diminish the respect and affection they had for each other. For Wolfgang's sake, Valerie and Eddie maintained a positive relationship, and Valerie always considered Eddie a cherished part of her life. Likewise, Eddie held deep appreciation for the woman who had stood by him during his toughest times. Even after their divorce, Valerie's love for Eddie remained strong. When Eddie was diagnosed with lung cancer and passed away in 2020, Valerie mourned deeply. In a heartfelt tribute on Instagram, she wrote that 40 years ago her life changed forever when she met him. He brought the only true light into her life, their son Wolfgang. Despite the heartfelt nature of her message, Valerie faced harsh criticism, with some accusing her of seeking attention or oversharing. These unkind remarks were a painful blow to Valerie, especially as she had only wanted to honor a man who had been an essential part of her life. After her marriage to Eddie Van Halen, Valerie Bertinelli hoped to find stability and peace with Tom Vitale, a businessman she trusted could bring a sense of calm into her life. They met in 2004 and married in 2011 after 6 years of dating. This marriage offered Valerie a fresh perspective on love, making her feel she could start over and leave behind the old wounds and heartaches. During their time together, Valerie and Tom shared many happy moments, supporting each other both in their careers and personal lives. Valerie expressed gratitude for finding Tom, someone who made her feel confident and loved. However, over the years, cracks began to show in their relationship. Differences in their life outlooks and personal goals gradually pushed them apart. In 2021, Valerie chose to end the marriage, citing irreconcilable differences. The divorce brought emotional pain and led to a tense financial dispute. Despite having a prenuptial agreement, Tom requested financial support from Valerie, seeking $50,000 per month and $200,000 in legal fees. This dispute not only weighed heavily on Valerie's emotions but also presented financial challenges, compelling her to stay resilient and find ways to move forward. Though the marriage ended amid legal and emotional turmoil, Valerie was determined not to let romantic disappointments define her. She stood strong, taking steps to rebuild her life, regaining her independence, and learning to appreciate herself more. Her relationship with Tom Vitale became an expensive lesson but also a driving force, inspiring her to continue her journey of healing with greater resilience than ever before. After 2 turbulent marriages and deep emotional scars, Valerie Bertinelli finally opened her heart once again. In early 2023, she began a new relationship with Mike Goodenough, a partner 10 years her junior whom she describes as warm, thoughtful, and patient. Valerie had not expected love to come at this point in her life, but Mike brought her a sense of trust and joy she had not felt in a long time. Valerie's happiness was evident when she went public with the relationship on social media, and soon after, the two made their first red carpet appearance together at the Daytime Emmy Awards. This marked the first time Valerie brought Mike to such a high-profile event, and her radiant smile and glowing eyes made it clear just how much this new love meant to her. She shared that before meeting Mike, she had resigned herself to a single life with 6 cats and a dog, but his presence changed her outlook entirely. However, the relationship was not without its challenges, particularly as Valerie and Mike navigated the struggles of long-distance love. Valerie lived in Los Angeles while Mike resided in another city, forcing them to juggle time and make efforts to stay connected despite the geographical distance. She admitted that while long distance was not a major problem when they could see each other, both eventually felt that the distance and their different lives were gradually impacting their relationship. Despite their efforts to maintain the connection, the practical challenges proved too difficult to overcome. Just 4 months after going public, Valerie and Mike decided to part ways. Valerie expressed the pain of ending a relationship she had hoped would bring lasting happiness. She openly shared her moments of vulnerability in facing solitude while emphasizing that this was a time for her to learn acceptance and confront her emotions without needing someone else for comfort. Valerie revealed that this breakup taught her to live peacefully in solitude, not because she did not need love, but because she wanted to find joy and freedom from within. With a positive outlook and renewed self-confidence, Valerie began to heal from the heartbreak and rediscover peace through personal freedom. She shared that in her weakest moments, she found strength by appreciating her present life and focusing on small joys, from admiring nature to laughing with friends. The journey to find love may not have been smooth, but Valerie understands that each experience offers valuable lessons, helping her grow stronger and embrace herself more fully than ever. Following her turbulent marriages, Valerie Bertinelli not only had to cope with emotional scars but also embarked on a journey to gain confidence in her appearance and weight. As a television star, Valerie was constantly under the public's scrutinizing gaze, which extended beyond her roles to her changing appearance. The relentless pressure from Hollywood to maintain an ideal physique became a mental burden, gradually affecting her self-esteem. As cruel comments and mockery from social media poured in, some even compared her to her youthful image from the past, rekindling painful memories she had struggled with for years. In her quest for confidence, Valerie became the face of the weight loss program Jenny Craig in 2007. Determined to transform herself, she participated not just to improve her figure but to inspire others facing similar weight struggles. She shared her personal journey through 2 books, Losing It and Gaining My Life Back 1 Pound at a Time in 2008 and Finding It and Satisfying My Hunger for Life Without Opening the Fridge in 2009. In these books, Valerie revealed her struggles with food temptations, her moments of weakness, and her sense of inadequacy in the face of society's harsh expectations. Valerie came to realize that her struggles were rooted in the emotional pressures she had shouldered since her youth. Food had become her means of emotional relief, a way to cope with challenges ranging from career stress to personal hardships. Valerie felt defeated at times when her weight loss did not progress as quickly as she had hoped. There were points when she pushed herself through strict diets and exhaustive workouts, hoping to overcome her insecurities about her body. Through Jenny Craig, Valerie lost over 40 pounds, yet she acknowledged that this was only part of a much longer journey toward self-love. She understood that without focusing on healing her inner self and processing her negative emotions, weight would remain a temporary issue. Valerie found renewal through home cooking and her life today. Beyond acting, Valerie Bertinelli has won over many fans as a successful television cooking personality. She discovered joy and peace in cooking, a passion that unexpectedly blossomed into a remarkable television career. On Valerie's Home Cooking on the Food Network, she not only showcased her culinary talents but also connected more deeply with her audience. Each episode featured Valerie sharing cozy recipes, family stories, and heartfelt moments, making viewers feel as if they were cooking alongside a friend. The show's success was measured not only by audience affection but also by 2 prestigious Emmy Awards for Outstanding Culinary Host and Outstanding Culinary Program. However, after 14 seasons, Valerie's Home Cooking was unexpectedly canceled in 2023. The decision came from Food Network, which was restructuring content and reducing budgets, leading to the show's cancellation despite its popularity. Valerie was understandably heartbroken to say goodbye to a show that had become like a second home to her. While she had hoped the network might reverse its decision, she eventually had to accept the reality. Valerie likened saying goodbye to the show to losing a major source of joy in her life, as she no longer had the opportunity to cook and connect with her audience weekly. Nevertheless, Valerie remains committed to the joy that cooking brings her. For her, cooking is more than creating delicious meals, it is a way to express love and connect with others. Each meal she shares reflects a piece of her heart, and each recipe contains a part of her spirit. Valerie hopes that even though the show has ended, her love for cooking and the joy of being in the kitchen will continue to be part of her life as a simple yet essential source of happiness. After a long journey of seeking happiness from external sources, Valerie has now embraced a new path, focusing on health and inner peace. In 2024, she decided to give up alcohol, a habit she had turned to for comfort during hard times, and committed to a healthier lifestyle. This change has improved her sleep, balanced her emotions, and lifted her spirits, bringing about other positive transformations. Her fans continue to support her, with many sharing heartfelt comments like it is wonderful to see her finding happiness from within, that is the kind of happiness that lasts. Valerie Bertinelli's story is a powerful journey of resilience as she rose from heartbreak to find true happiness within herself. Her strength serves as an inspiration to anyone facing their own adversities. What do you think about Valerie's journey? Share your thoughts. Thank you for following along, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel to catch more inspiring stories. See you in the next videos.